Hello, wonderful and amazing people. How are we this evening? I hope everyone is wonderful. It's Friday. You made it. You made it. Aren't you happy? It's the end of the week. You get to do whatever you do on your Fridays. I don't know. Are you drinking Budweiser? I wonder if you are. Are you guys going to Target and buying some Budweiser to drink this weekend? I wonder if you're doing that. I went to Target today. To do some investigative journalism, believe it or not. I don't know if you want to call it that. I just went there. I just wanted to snoop around, see what was going on, see what all the mysteries about. Anyhow, thanks for joining. I'm so happy to see you all. I got a lot going on. Got some Trump news. Got some Elon news. Got obviously Target news. A lot going on in California. So thanks again for joining. If you could be so kind and you enjoy the show, go ahead and give that like button a tap. If you'd like to support the show, share on whatever platforms you would like to share on. I prefer Twitter, but yeah, likes, retweets, subscriptions, all that good stuff always helps. You are my best sponsors. So you guys send stuff to a friend. That's what helps the show the most. So all right, let's get into it. What I got queued up first, I think, might as well start off with Trump. That's what everybody likes to talk about nowadays. Well, it's been kind of like that for a long time, hasn't it? So apparently the big news of the day, according to Mario Narwhals, that is according to, who is it according to? Somebody else came out and said that Trump is coming back to Twitter. So let's check it out. This was broke on a Spaces. The guy that broke the news tweeted it out earlier in the day, but he talked about it in the Spaces earlier on. So actually, crap, that's not what I wanted to share, guys. Dang it. Sorry about that. Stand by, folks. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? All right, let's try this again. Yeah, this one. All righty. So this is inevitable, Trump coming back to Twitter. It wasn't a matter of if, it was just when. So I'm still, when is it going to happen? Because, yeah, he's not going to get shown up by DeSantis, even though that wouldn't really be getting shown up by him. That was a disaster, that whole Twitter Spaces that he tried to do. But, yeah, Mario Narwhals reports that, again, that's not his name. That's just like what I like to call him. His name is Mario Nawful. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I just like call him Narwhals. During our live Spaces, Ron DeSantis presented an announcement. Benny Johnson effectively confirmed the eagerly anticipated return of Donald Trump to Twitter. This is huge, blah, blah, blah. Let's just listen to him talk about it, because, yeah, I have a ton to get through tonight.
The bank. Now, this was part and parcel baked into the cake, but how? But the Ron DeSantis announcement inside of the Spaces is really been an accelerant to that decision. And so Donald Trump will be coming back and will be doing a Twitter Space. Mark my words. There's absolutely no way he's going to be one-upped on this. And Elon Musk, if you go back into the history books, the year was 2008 when Elon Musk was interviewed by 60 Minutes, and he was asked who's the best at Twitter, and he said, far and away, point blank, Donald Trump. Elon Musk said it's a war zone. Donald Trump is a fighter. He's insanely good at Twitter. That's a quote. And so Elon Musk wants nothing more than for Donald Trump to come back to Twitter. And I think you're right. There's a wide open lane for Donald Trump to come back and do this and make it bigly. You know, yes, Donald Trump is coming back to Twitter. I have that effectively confirmed from some of the highest levels of his campaign. So I think you should take that I think you should take that to the bank. The people who have access to Donald Trump's Twitter confirm that. So I think you should take it to the bank. You should expect it. And I think you should expect a situation like this. I think you should expect Elon to host one of these with Donald Trump.
All right. So they basically confirmed it. And it's true. Trump is, he's just hilarious, especially when it comes to Twitter. He's the ultimate troll. And his timing's great. He's got great memes. He just says funny stuff. And everybody's following him, so everybody pays attention to every last thing he says. Like, remember Kofefi? Like, I still don't even remember what that was about. Like, it was just he tweeted out Kofefi, and he had everybody in the media talking about it. And it was just like a typo or something. I don't know. That was great. But I guess the imminent return of Donald J. Trump to Twitter, that's the news. And yeah, Elon would love nothing more than to have the 2024, GOP nomination, at least, that battle to be had out over Twitter. He would love to have the presidential nomination to be had out over Twitter. It's the ultimate advertising for him. So yeah, that'd be good to see. And this is just a funny, here's a perfect reason why you want to see Trump back on Twitter. This is just a clip that I randomly saw after that one I just showed you, and it sort of had perfect timing because I think this is when Trump walked across the DMZ by himself without any assurances and then just started talking crap to Kim Jong-il. And he wasn't sure if he was talking crap to him or not. And this was just hilarious. Look at
Very nice. Getting a good picture of everybody so we look nice and handsome and thin.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Look at the look on his face. Did Trump just make fun of me? Like, he's not sure. And everyone around him is like, oh, if I laugh, I'm gonna get murdered. Like, it's funny in such a horrific way. But yeah, I think Trump did that. I think Trump really did that. It's just hysterical. Like, how? That's why you want Trump back on Twitter. That's just one reason why you want Trump back on Twitter. But imminent return. So yeah, I thought that'd be a funny clip to show you guys. All right, enough about Trump. And another quick story just before I start talking about Target, because I got so many clips to just everybody trolled the crap out of Target this week, and we're going to be talking about Target for the majority of the episode because, man, the culture war is in full swing right now, and that is for dang sure. It is serious. Like, Bud Light's basically free. People are giving it away. This whole thing is insane. And, well, yeah, it's funny. We'll get into that in a minute. But this, I don't know how many people are talking about this, but this was big news to me. So the FDA, the old trustworthy FDA, that we all know and love, they approved Neuralink, Elon's good old Neuralink, putting chips in your brain. So, well, that's let's just read the article from Mario Narwhals. Neuralink, an innovation brain chip devised by Elon Musk, holds the potential to empower individuals suffering from paralysis, enabling them to reclaim their independence by exerting control over computers and mobile devices. Furthermore, Neuralink harbors the promise of completely revolutionizing our modes of communication, web browsing, movie viewing, etc., to make it easier, faster, and a lot more convenient. Oh, cool. Convenience. Yeah, that's the way it's always sold, right? Convenience. The realm of artificial intelligence has witnessed an extraordinary surge in technology advancement recently, and it is gradually but definitively reshaping various different industries. Yeah, it's terrifying. With AI rapidly becoming more intelligent and Neuralink fast approaching, who's ready for the new era of technology? Not me. No, I'm not. I'm not ready for this, Mario. Frankly, I'm not ready for this, and I'm not doing it, Elon. I'm not putting the chip in my brain. And he's got I don't know. I think Elon is secretly, well, I don't even know if it's a secret. I think Elon's just trying to take over the world. I really do. I legitimately think Elon's trying to take over the world. I'm still suspended on Twitter, by the way, Elon. I'll be talking about that on Sunday on your platform because I still can't believe I got suspended for that crap. But, you know, he's got the largest communications platform. He's got what I think is going to be the best internet interfacing capability. Like, it's not a web browser, it's the Starlink. You know, so he's got Starlink. He's sending rockets potentially to other planets. Not potentially, he's going to send rockets to other planets. Like, I think he's the X company that he's trying to build, the everything company. Elon's trying to take over the world, guys. Everybody loves him. Oh, Elon, great, free speech and everything. No, I think he's trying to take over the world. He's not the hero. I don't think he is, guys. I'm frankly terrified of him. And, well, yeah, like, I don't know. Bezos seems like he's just out for it for tail, you know, and having fun now. But I don't know. Elon's like on a mission. He wants to transcend himself or something, transcend humanity. I don't know if it's in a good way either. He scares me. Anyway, all right, let's get into Target. So, you know, there's so many. Let's listen to some Target executives talk about it first, because that'll sort of set the tone for the evening of what we're going to be talking about here. Yeah, what's going on here? Alrighty. Yeah, let's go to Myth Informed over here on Twitter. Where are you, sir? Oh, there he is. Alrighty. Yeah, so these are just executives talking about basically their agenda, their Target agenda, which, you know, they're a private company. They're allowed to have that. But it's interesting the way these women go about describing their agenda. So let's listen to them talk about their agenda.
It is important for us to also acknowledge that not everyone is going to believe or be bought into our strategies and our priorities on this topic. They just aren't. And so when we talk about leader accountability and the importance of representation and these strategies and these goals being integrated into someone's responsibility, like just to be really pragmatic and practical, then it becomes, okay, you don't like, we may not be able to change your mind shift on appreciating why this is important. But you do understand that as a part of your job responsibilities, you will lead inclusively, you will have representation on your team, you will be responsible for these behaviors, values, and expectations. And it also, quite frankly, puts a light on the folks that don't believe in this, but emphasizes that you still have to do it to do this job, to be a part of this company. And eventually, you'll see a change in their mindset, or they may leave. And, you know, that's a part of this process too. This isn't for everyone. But what has to be for everyone is accountability, and accountability comes with transparency. It's really important.
All right. So there's a ton there. First of all, it's like, what does everything that you're talking about there, diversity, equity, and inclusion, first of all, like, what does that have to do with your shareholders? I mean, Target's a publicly traded company, right? I'm assuming. Yeah, they're yeah, their stock price has tanked in the last few days, I think. So how does this help your shareholders? And she's like, yeah, if you're in the company and you don't agree with it, like, tough, you're going to do this. We're going to force you to do with it. And if you don't like it, get out type thing. And it's just, what does this sound like? I won't even beat around the bush. This is cultural and social Marxism. It is in the workplace. It's forced compliance, and if you just forced compliance until they like it, until they. She basically says they don't have to like it; they just have to do it, and if not, they're gonna get out of here. Well, I don't know. I don't see how that's gonna help your shareholders, but that I thought was interesting. And that sort of, I think that's what got them into trouble with all of this stuff. But I will say, in their defense, they've been doing the pride stuff forever. It's funny because there's this George Floyd video, well, the summer of George Floyd, the summer of love, floating around, that it shows when a bunch of rioters went into Target and trashed the place, and you see one of the pride displays like all trashed and everything because it was from that same time period. It was from, well, I think it was a video from exactly, what was that, 3 years ago now, right? Yeah, I can't believe that was 3 years ago. So they've been doing this pride stuff forever. I don't know how long they've been doing the trans stuff for kids thing though, and that's what people are super mad about. I don't think it's the pride stuff necessarily, the over the top, pride stuff everywhere. It's it's the fact that they're going after the kids. That's the whole thing. But I noticed something months and months and months ago at the Target in Santa Cruz that it really stood out to me. It made me stop dead in my tracks. I was just like, like that's not an accident. Like that is absolutely not an accident, especially because of, book sections there's sections for a reason, and books are supposed to be in the section that they belong in. But I went to the Target in Santa Cruz a long time ago, and it's a 2-story Target. And as soon as you go up to the escalator, you get to the top, there's a book rack right there. And your eyes just go right to the middle, right to a very specific spot. And what book is right in that specific spot? Well, I went back there today to check. And since I'm still suspended on Twitter, I had to use my burner account. It's not really a burner account because, well, I mean, it still says SC Mountain Goat. So yeah, if you guys aren't following my burner account, it's SC Mountain on Twitter, or I'm sorry, Phil R Buster actually is my at if you would like to follow my alt. But I should be done. My suspension should be over tomorrow, so I'll be able to talk crap to everybody again tomorrow. So yeah, this is a video I took today. You probably can't even hear the audio. But I'm curious. The same thing is going on the last time I was here. And sure enough, you get to the top of the escalator. What do you walk straight to? I'm pretty sure this is a thriller. So everybody's in the Target talking about all the rights. So again, this is also in the thriller section. The thriller section is the section right at the top of the stairs. Why is the 1619 Project in the thriller section? And right front and center, the very first thing that you see when you get to the top. I'm curious. The same thing is going on the last time I was here. And sure enough, you get to the top of the escalator. What do you walk straight to? I'm pretty sure this is a thriller. Like, what the hell? So yeah, they're just, so Target is fully on board with this Marxist diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda. It seems that's not an accident. The 1619 Project being right there, front and center, top of the escalator in the thriller section. So I would be curious, other Targets, go to their bookstores and see see where that book is located. I don't have any problem against them selling the book. It's just like clear that they're trying to promote that book. Why don't you see the Bible sitting right there? Or why don't you see, I don't know, the Gulag Archipelago? Why don't you see War and Peace? I don't know, whatever. Like, why that book particularly? That's not an accident. So, anyway, that was there. All right. So that's all my stuff. And then what does Gavin Newsom have to say about all this crap? So I won't show the tweet on screen just because it takes too much time. I'll just read it to you guys. So this is Gavin Newsom quote tweeted The Hill, and The Hill was reporting Target is removing certain LGBTQ. I'm surprised they didn't use all the other letters and numbers and things, and Pride Month merchandise from its stores nationwide after an intense backlash from some customers, including violent confrontations with its workers. So Gavin Newsom quote tweets that, and he says, Gavin Newsom. So this is what he says. CEO of Target, Brian Cornell, selling out to the LGBTQ plus community to extremists, a real profile encourage. Obviously sarcasm. This isn't just a couple stores in the South. There's a systemic attack on the gay community happening across the country. Wake up, America. And, he could have left it there. And that could have been fine from the left. They could say whatever they want. But then this is the inflammatory part here. This doesn't stop here. You're black, ? You're Asian, ? You're Jewish, ? You're a woman, ? You're next. What? So he's equating people being mad that Target is selling chest binding clothing for kids, and I didn't see any of the kids like tuck friendly clothing. I didn't see any of that, but allegedly there was some of that. But there was for sure kids binding, light binding, like trans promoted stuff. So that's the only thing that people have a problem with. I mean, yeah, there are people that are more extreme about it that don't want the gay pride stuff at all. I'm a Californian. Like I grew up around this stuff. So the pride stuff doesn't bother me. A pride display in Target doesn't bother me at all. But if there's all of the kids' clothing, all of a sudden, like all of it is just super gay, like everything is gay, like there's no option for normal, just I want to, like, it's the fact that you're going after the kids and you're trying to jam it down their throat. And the Gavin Newsom's trying to equate that, being mad that they're specifically going after all kids, and he's trying to equate that with being against black people, against Asian people, and against Jewish people, and against women. Like, he's such a scumbag. And he's calling, and that's more than half the country, because it's there's people on the left that are mad about this too. This isn't, and this is what keeps happening too. They keep forcing people that are on the left, they keep forcing them to the right with more and more of these things that keep happening, because I guarantee there's some moms on the left that are just like, no, I just wanted to go shopping for my son without like glitter and rainbows on everything. I just wanted to get him a normal t-shirt, like, yeah, I'm sure that's happened. But apparently, according to Gavin, you are now racist, you're anti-Semitic, and you hate women. Apparently, Gavin Newsom, ultimate scumbag. Like, what's messed up is he'll still win. He'll still win the next election. Not because I think that the majority of Californians voted for him. Not because I think that. Because I genuinely think that the elections aren't fair in California. And that's just my personal opinion. I don't have any evidence to support that. But with mandatory, everybody gets a ballot in the mail, that's just there's no way to. That's just ripe for the picking. Yeah, just so much fraud opportunity there. All right. Well, let's go to a bunch of Target videos. We'll go to the one that the left is so mad about, talking about the right-wing extremists and the horrible things that they're doing. They're so evil, so much destruction that they cause. I mean, those right-wing extremists burning and looting and just all the horrible stuff that they've done to Target. Let's look at some of that in action. Let's look at some of the horrible burning and looting that these right-wing extremists are doing. Because it's awful, guys. It's bad. So here it is. Here's some of it.
That there is no insert. There's nothing on it. So
it's disgusting. It's devil worship. That's devil worship.
Okay. So don't do that, first of all. Like, you're a turd. Like, as a turd, granted, it was kind of funny. It was just kind of funny, his stupid mannerisms. But, yeah, people are super mad about that. Like, what damage did he really cause? Like, I think that was cardboard. And, yeah, I should have pulled up some of the Summer of Love footage. I might have it pulled up. But some of the damage that was actually done to Target, where they just completely destroyed the entire store and took everything in it. That happened during the Summer of Love. But that's the video that John Cooper said. He says, it's terribly disappointing that Target is caving into threats of violence from the anti-LGBTQ bigots by removing Pride Month displays. If these extremists decide to attack displays celebrating Black History Month next, will Target remove those as well? So again, of course, they're saying because you don't like your kids being targeted by trans specific stuff. Like, we're yeah. If you don't like that, apparently you are also racist and anti-Semitic, and you hate women. According also to John Cooper and now Gavin Newsom. Yeah. So I don't know if I have those other videos of the destruction. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Let's listen to the people on the right explain what they're mad about. Because there's plenty of them. There is plenty of them. So yeah. You've heard the left, their response. Gavin Newsom calling you racist and everything. Okay, let's listen to what people are saying. Because I honestly, I'm not. Yeah, I probably won't. I won't spend money at Target again. But I'm not. I'm sort of like the Bud Light thing. I don't drink anyway, and like Nike. I haven't bought anything Nike in probably 20 years because the whole sweatshops thing. Like, that's been since I've been a kid, That was my dad. We didn't do Nike. We didn't like Nike stuff. But I don't know if my dad did it because of the sweatshops thing. But I don't buy Nike stuff. But you can do that on your own, But the whole I wonder. I think you're gonna have an extra backlash towards the gay community now. Like, it's going to go farther than it should. And it sucks because the trans stuff has been just jammed down everybody's throat so much that now the pendulum's going to swing back in the other direction. And it is going to be bad. You are going to actually see, homophobic and hateful stuff. So, but let's see why people are actually mad. And they do have legitimate concerns and legitimate gripes. So there's a clip from Louder Crowder that he shared. And this chick looks like a lesbian too, so.
Pride Month is almost upon us, which of course means we're about to see all these corporations just slap a big old rainbow on everything that they do in hopes of gaining some additional revenue by saying, hey, we love gay people. Let's take a look at Target, one of the worst offenders in their 2023 Pride collection. I just want to kick it off with this baby onesie that has sexual imagery on it. Let's go ahead and peep that little trans heart there, as well as the pride heart there, which are both representations of a sexual orientation or gender dysphoria. Super cute to put your baby in this summer. This bib is for all those adults out there who just desperately need their sexual orientation affirmed by babies. It's just a weird look. It's passed from me. If I walk into a home and I see a sign that says, ask me about my pronouns, I know that I am in the wrong home. Queer liberation is for everyone. Liberation from what? You're free. Queer, 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 queer. Who the fuck designed this? Say gay. Yeah, this whole collection is actually pretty freaking gay. Check out the dress in the romper for children, because obviously children have business celebrating sexual orientation and sexuality. By far, my favorite piece of this entire collection is this one, validation not needed, which is hilarious because this entire movement is founded with adults who kick and scream and cry and throw tantrums over validation. Like, somebody got paid to make this. What? Be sure to shop your local Target to get your children ready for the Gay Pride Parade this summer. And while you're there, be sure to stop at their book selection, where they have all of the graphic, pornographic, and sexually explicit books designed for children. Queer.
Yeah. So I haven't been to a gay pride parade, but I have tons of friends that have. And I lived with a couple that like religiously went. And I'm not talking about generic gay pride parades that take place like anywhere. I'm talking about the gay pride parade on Castro Street in San Francisco that's been happening since the beginning, the thing that started it all. And from my understanding, the degree of gayness has dramatically increased over the years. And when I say gayness, I don't even mean gayness. Like, it is very sexually explicit. Let me just say, there is full frontal. There is like full blown sex, like public sex acts taking place. It's not a place for kids. So, but there's people that take their kids there, and I don't know. They probably shop at Target, probably drink Bud Light. Man, yeah, that's the thing too. Like, Target's screwed. There's already memes being made. Once you have memes being made, you are screwed. Like, Budweiser is screwed now. Congratulations, Budweiser. You are now the gay beer. Good job. Like, that's what you've done to yourself. You made yourselves the gay beer. And I mean, fine if that's what you were going for, but I don't know. Let's see how that works out for you. Let's listen to more people talking about Target targeting your kids. And that is the title of the episode. Targeting your kids. And if you're watching and enjoying what you're watching so far, go ahead and give that like button a tap for me. That would be awesome. I would really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm. I am a growing channel, so I would be very grateful. All right. I don't know who this is on Twitter, but let's just watch a video. Oh, wrong one. This one. This is from Banned Video. We won't play the whole thing. Yeah, this is the tuck friendly
Ladies
stuff.
and gentlemen, we are at Target here in Austin, where the American left, the liberal, progressive Democrat movement, is using Target as their new platform and as their new corporation to target your kids for sex. Don't believe me? See for yourself.
We're coming for them. We're coming for
That song that he's playing right now, that's ironic that he's playing that. Okay, I made a joke reference to that earlier in the show. That's that San Francisco gay choir that made that song, and they said it was just a joke, but they made a song literally saying we're coming for your children, and they deleted it and they're forced to apologize, but this is it that they're playing. This is a real song that they made. This is like tons of gay dudes singing about how they're coming for your children.
For your children. We're coming for your children. Your children will care about fairness and justice for others. Your children will work to convert all their sisters and brothers. Then soon we're almost certain
to convert their sisters and brothers. Like, yeah, it's, they act like they're the most oppressed group, and it's just, they're the most celebrated group. And yeah, who is attacked? I don't know. Well.
Your kids will start converting you. The gay agenda is coming home. The gay agenda is here. But you don't have to worry. Because there's nothing wrong with standing by your side. Get on board and
So it's not even Pride Month yet, and Target has their Pride section set up right here in the children's aisle. And what's even more controversial, even though Target has been targeting children for sex for a long time, what's more controversial now is a new artist that they brought onto the team that has put out pins that not just depict weird, satanic, sexual imagery for children, it also insinuates that anybody that does not accept the radical left's LGBTQ agenda needs to be killed, with images such as a guillotine saying it's a headrest. Now, even in this Pride section here, you might think, well, this is innocent enough.
So I obviously didn't see any of that stuff. Actually, so when I went to Target today, there was no Pride stuff whatsoever. So there's obviously been some huge backlash over this. And this is Owen Schroyer reporting all this. And yeah, it sounds crazy, like there'd be satanic pedophile stuff everywhere. Like it sounds crazy, the satanic pedophile stuff, until the more you look into it. I'm not even talking about Target there. There's a lot going on, folks. This whole agenda, I'm not saying this is I'm not trying to tie Marxism to satanic pedophilia, but this whole yeah, I'll move on from the satanic pedophilia stuff. I'll let Owen, if you want to learn more about it, you can listen to Owen Schroyer talk about it. But Gnosticism, guys, look into Gnosticism. It's essentially Satanism, and Satanism is a real religion, and there are people that actually practice it, and that stuff is being sprinkled in to messaging. And once you recognize the Gnosticism and the Satanism crap, and you start seeing it places that it shouldn't be, it's very eye-opening. So I encourage everybody to look into Gnosticism, and well, don't look into Satanism, but well, you kind of have to. You kind of have to be able to know what you're looking for. So we'll move on from the Owen Schroyer one, but there's plenty of other people talking about stuff they're angry at Target for. Let's keep going here. This is one lady talking about why she's boycotting Target. This is I meme, therefore I am over here on Twitter. What's up, Wally World? We thought it was a good idea to saying we're coming for your children. Well, they did, and they thought it would be funny, and apparently they didn't really think that through. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they weren't joking.
Here's where So I'm here in Austin, Texas. It's been moved because here's where it used to be. We found the Pride section. It's in the very back of the store. It's been completely rearranged. And I didn't think that these were true. Look closely. It says light binding effect for light binding here at Target for your kids. Racks of the baby onesie, toddler Pride leggings, the toddler tutu for all your kids going to Pride parades with drag queens. It's just disturbing. You know, I'm glad they moved it to the back of the store because no kid should be seeing this in front. Here's the tucking one-piece bathing suit hidden in the back. And here's another one. Here's the tucking bottoms to the matching binding.
So I should say those are obviously for adults. Those are very large. So if they want to have a pride section, whatever, it's when they're targeting the kids, that's where I get an issue.
Bathing suit top. The 4th of July section. As you can see, they love America. Do you see her? So I'm here in Austin, Texas.
All right, we got a bunch of stuff like that to get through. This should see all the different clips because people are irate about this. There's some angry people that I didn't even bring on here because some people would go over the top. It wasn't cool, but this next one's funny at least. Well, it's funny to me. This may or may not be funny to you guys. I don't know how you feel about Alex Stein. I personally think he's hilarious, especially because he's a giant. He's like as tall as me, and he's a freaking goofball, and he's very brave. Here's Alex Stein being a silly ass.
This is not, you guys see this? It's tuck friendly. You see? Yeah, I saw it on TikTok too.
We're at Target, checking out their tuck-friendly Pride collection. That's right, guys. Extra crotch coverage, tuck-friendly construction. Thank you, Target.
No, it is. This is the tucking one.
Yeah, it is. Look.
Tuck-friendly construction. Okay. Well, let's see how tuck-friendly it is.
Hey, well, you can.
Wow, it's so tuck-friendly. It's nice. Let's go ahead. I love the tuck-friendly bathing suit. Look, this is nice. You guys see this? It's tuck-friendly. You see? Extra. Yeah, I saw it on TikTok too. It just looks so good. Look, you can't even see it, guys. It's like, this is the best tuck friendly.
He said you can't even see it. All right, enough Alex Stein. So, man, people were just. I feel bad for the Target employees because they didn't do nothing. They're just trying to work. They didn't. Yeah, but I got more of them. I got more of them to show you. This is just gonna be a night of capping on Target. Well, I want to get through this as much as possible because we got actual news to cover. But let's watch some more videos because there's plenty of them. Some of them are funny. Okay, so this is from Colin Rugg. Target's released a statement after a boycott was launched against them for promoting the LGBTQ clothing line for children. The statement was reminiscent of Bud Light's weak backpedal after their Dylan Mulvaney disaster. For more than a decade, this is Target's statement. For more than a decade, Target has offered an assortment of products aimed at celebrating Pride Month. And that's true. Since introducing this year's collection, we've experienced threats impacting our team members' sense of safety and well-being while at work. Given these volatile circumstances, we are making adjustments to our plans, including removing items that have been at the center of the most significant confrontational behavior. Our focus now is on moving forward with our continuing commitment to the LGBTQIA plus community and standing with them as we celebrate Pride Month and throughout the year. The boycott goes on. Oh, okay, that was not part of their statement. The boycott goes on part. And they've gone farther from that. They've removed their entire Pride display. And that's sort of where I say that's the pendulum swinging too far in the other direction, because if they want to have, it is Pride Month, however you feel about it. If they want to have a display for Pride Month, whatever. But, stand by. Sorry, folks. I had a cough come out of nowhere. All right. Yeah, sorry. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. Let's watch this video too. Hopefully you can still see this.
Okay, this is the child section. This is literally the kids section. I'm next to a literal onesie that says whatever the hell that means. We have glad you came out, and I'm so happy that you're queer in the kids section. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, but pride and toddler don't belong in the same sentence. So I found an extra small swimsuit in the child section. Says light binding effect on it. And then the bottoms in the kids section, keep in mind, say tuck friendly construction. They're giving it to your kids. If that doesn't give you a reason to boycott Target, I don't know what does.
Okay, so they do have the binding and tuck friendly construction stuff in the kids. All right. So this lady right here, this lady that you're looking at, this is the person that Gavin Newsom is calling a racist against black people and Asian people, also anti-Semitic and also hates women. It's this person right here that Gavin Newsom's talking about. So keep that in mind. Just Gavin. Got more of them. We got more of them to get through, guys. Yeah, there's plenty. There is plenty. Let's go to Libs and TikTok. Let's see here. Oh, no, that's the same one. Oh, yeah. So it's not just Target. So, and yeah, I think this might be a pendulum swinging too far in the other direction thing too, because the North Face decided to get involved, and this doesn't seem like it's targeting kids at all. It's just they're doing woke Gay Pride Month stuff, but it's I don't know if this is targeting kids here, but there's definitely people that are not pleased with the North Face now. So let's check that one out really quick. So let's go. I thought that was. Oh no. Let's go to Chuck Lesto. So and he says Target stock down 11 points in the last 5 days following the boycotts. North Face, hold my beer. And this is what we got. I should also say that the North Face is one of the first companies that I ever worked for. I worked at 2 different North Face locations, And yeah, also works for Any Mountain and REI. It was like one of my first jobs was selling outerwear stuff. I actually love North Face gear. It's super expensive. I have a jacket from the North Face. It's like 20 years old. And yeah, their stuff lasts forever. And yeah, they decided to do this.
Nature lets you be who you are. Even gay. Ladies and gentlemen, you are cordially invited to the Summer of Pride with my friends at the North Face. We're traveling all the gay across America, and everyone's invited. That means you. Me. And you.
Hello.
And you.
Wow.
Not you, though. You're too cute. Okay, just kidding. You can come. Put on your boots and come out. Side with us. See you there, besties. Don't you think this is all a little intense? I mean, look at you. You're in a literal tent right now. But no, this event will not be intense. Everyone is invited.
So, yeah, people are mad at that. Yeah, it's super gay. But again, it's Pride Month. Like, that's not targeting kids at all. But again, that pendulum is going to swing. They've been, maybe instead of like trying to jam the LGBTQIA blah 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 crap down everyone's throat, including people's kids' throats all year, maybe just leave it for the month, and then people won't freak out when everybody starts being ultra gay during Pride Month. I don't know. Maybe that's the solution. I'm not sure. But that commercial, I'm sorry, guys, that doesn't bother me at all. That commercial right there. In fact, like part of it made me chuckle a little bit. So I don't know. That commercial there doesn't bother me at all. Again, it's Pride Month in California. I'm used to this crap. I'm not, I get it. The whole people make the argument of the cultural degeneracy thing. And, you can make that argument, whatever. I have gay friends. It personally doesn't bother me. It bothers me when you start going after the kids and start trying to jam an ideology down kids' throats. That's where I start getting annoyed. But I don't know. Let's go to another North Face one. Because this one made gays against groomers mad. If it made them mad, maybe there was some kid targeting in this one. There better be. Otherwise, I don't understand why people are mad. So let's go over here to gays against groomers. All right. This was another ultra gay commercial, but I don't know if it's aimed at the kids or not.
Hi, it's me, Patagonia, a real-life homosexual. And today I'm here with the North Face. We are here to invite you to come out in nature with us. Wow, this is nice. We like to call this little tour the Summer of Pride. This tour has everything. Hiking, community, art, lesbians making art. Last year, we gay sashayed across the nation and celebrated Pride across the nation with hundreds of you across the nation. This year, we're back again with 2 new stops. Atlanta, GA. Why? Because you're there. In Salt Lake City, we're coming for you.
Hey, can we go?
Of course. This year, all these fabulous speakers will be coming from inside this TV to a nature near you. So come outside and celebrate the beautiful LGHG TV
All right. So, yeah, it was ultra gay and super annoying, but that I didn't see any targeting towards kids there. So I don't know what. Again, it's Pride Month. Like, if they want to do their Pride Month crap, whatever. I don't. That doesn't seem like a reason to boycott for me. And I don't know if anybody caught the name of that person who called himself Patagonia. Patagonia. That's like their number one competitor, isn't it? So I don't know. That could be even a weird thing they're doing. I don't know. That one, the North Face stuff, that doesn't bother me. Target stuff, yeah, that bugs me. But this next one bothers me. Coming out of California, what do you expect? This one might actually kind of shock you guys, and I hadn't heard about this. So, yeah, I thought there would be a lot more people talking about this one. So, let's go over to Travis here on Twitter, because this freaking LA, man. I already can't stand the Dodgers. And I'm a Giants fan. You know, I haven't watched the Giants since before COVID, but man, I used to bleed orange. So I can't stand the Dodgers. And this is the kind of crap. This is some crap you would expect from the Giants. Well, not the satanic aspect of it, but yeah, look at this. So happening now, the LA Dodgers have re-invited the drag queen group known as the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. Who are the sisters? In 1995, on Easter Sunday, they did a pub crawl to mock Stations of the Cross, which commemorates Jesus's last day on earth. In 1999, they hosted a Hunky Jesus competition to mock Jesus. During their annual crawl in front of each bar, they call out, "We adore thee, O Christ," and their audience responds with, "Love ya, mean it, let's do brunch," in an attempt to mock Catholics. This is not a standard LGBT group, but instead a very radical faction. Their entire purpose is to mock Catholics who make up a large majority of the Los Angeles area. This is a big mistake by the Dodgers organization. So, yeah, it's just this is just pictures of them. I thought I had a video pulled up. Oh yeah, this is you guys, I don't need to play the audio here, but they got somebody up on a crucifix like it's Jesus, and then another gay guy starting to do like lap dance stuff around him. Yeah, this is super insulting. Like, imagine doing this to any other religion. You know, if they did this, imagine if they did this to the Jews. Imagine if they did this to the Muslims. Like this, it's always Christianity that it's okay to do this to. For some reason, Catholics and Christians are. It's like always. It's always okay to say and do whatever you want to them. So, freaking Dodgers. If you're a Dodgers fan, you should have a thing or two to say. All right. Well, let's come back to my hood, the good old Bay Area. Another store closing down. So, actually, I don't need to share it on screen. I'll just read some of the article. This is from K-Ron Channel 4 and Old Navy. Old Navy on Market Street. This is it's a big Old Navy. I think it's their flagship store. So Old Navy officials announced Tuesday that the retailer's location, Market Street, will close down after their lease expires on July 1st. We are already working to identify new locations in downtown San Francisco that will better serve the needs and business of our customers. A Gap spokesperson told K-Ron 4. Yeah, right. We'll see about that. The Market Street location first opened in the 1990s. In February of 2021, Gap Inc., Old Navy's parent company, announced several new flagship stores for Old Navy, Gap, Banana Republic, and Athletica at its headquarters on Folsom Street. Old Navy also has several locations in the Bay Area and other San Francisco, Daly City, Colma, and Emeryville. Yeah. So this comes as news as retail exodus from other stores like Nordstrom's. That's like the other big one. Whole Foods. I think Amazon Prime that was there. Just a whole bunch of them. California Street is for sale right now. Old Navy. That's another one. Sad to see it go. San Francisco is turning into. It's going to keep getting worse. It hasn't hit rock bottom yet. Like they haven't. The turnaround hasn't started yet. So even after, the policies perpetuating these problems are still in place. So even after those policies get fixed, there's still going to be a lag in when we're going to see things start to get better. So San Francisco is in a death spiral right now, and it's bad. It's really bad. Yeah, just perfect example of the policies that are destroying that city and why everyone's leaving. And I imagine every Walgreens will eventually leave San Francisco because you've got people like this jerk, that it makes people that are following the rules wonder why they're following the rules. This hasn't happened right in front of me, but I worry about when it does happen right in front of me. I wonder what I will do. Actually, I know exactly what I would do in this case.
Okay, so let's just do this. Yep.
So I'm pantsing both these guys. I'm pantsing this dude because it'd be super easy to pants him. I'll say it. Underwear and all. I'm pantsing this dude, and then I'm taking his slippers and I'm going to throw them across the store. And then I'm going to take the bag that he has while he's trying to pull his pants up. I'm going to take the bag that he filled all his stuff with, and I'm going to throw it. Yeah, that's maybe. Yeah, no violence, but I would probably get in trouble for that. But imagine this just right in front of you.
Boss man, you might want to get out here. They literally putting everything in the skincare aisle right here.
See, and the thing is, like, you see this primarily happening in like San Francisco and Oakland and, hood areas, but this could happen anywhere in California. It isn't really anything the store can do about it. Like, the employees will get in trouble if they put hands on the person. They will get in trouble. Security, anybody will get in trouble if they put hands on the person. The cops aren't going to really do anything because it's a misdemeanor. If it's not over $1,000, it's a misdemeanor. And then they report that crime's going down because now people don't even report it. They don't even call the cops, or the cops don't even take a report. So it looks like crime's actually going down. It's so bad. Imagine this happening right in front of you.
Oh, I'm recording a video of them. You see them? There's them right here.
And people say, "Oh, I beat their ass or whatever." You're gonna get in trouble, like you are, and it sucks. I would want to too. I would want to fly an elbow. Yeah, I would want to. This makes me mad, especially when I walk into that store to spend money on, particularly if I'm going into the store to spend money on the items that they stole. And watch, now they're out of the item that I need that I went in there to actually purchase. This stuff would make me very angry. And you could find videos of this stuff every day, all day, out in California, anywhere, like any big city in California, you'll see this happening. But primarily San Francisco, LA, Oakland, probably in San Jose too. We'll go over to Ricky Wine. This dude's cool. He's gone viral several times on the interwebs. You might recognize this guy. He's out there in the city. I've conversed with him a few times back and forth on Twitter. Hopefully I'll meet him at some point when I go to the city. But he makes some pretty important points here. Because everybody should be aware of this. Everybody should be aware of how much money we are spending on each essentially junkie in the city. So sorry, guys.
Look at these.
They're hypodermic needles.
Look at that. Look at that.
So those are brand new hypodermic needles in the box, like brand new packaged hypodermic needles, brand new. And they give those out to drug addicts. The city of San Francisco, your tax dollars pay for this, Californians. And the druggies shoot up fentanyl, get all twacked out, and then they just leave them, forget about them, forget where they left them, and then just go get more. It's not like they keep track of who's taking them.
That's why this harm reduction thing does not work. That's why it doesn't work. Because you're handing out boxes and boxes of free needles, and it's just all getting tossed away. It's all just getting tossed away. These people aren't responsible. You can't give people that are irresponsible something like that. You're giving away precious resources.
So on that same note, imagine all the people that are saying, we just need housing. We just need to give them housing. Yeah, right. They can't even handle a box of needles without you losing it. They're going to trash any housing that you get. And I mean, a perfect example of that is these migrant hotels that are going on in New York and Chicago right now. Like, these hotels are getting trashed. And I think I got some footage of that a little bit later, but I don't even know if we're going to end up getting to that because I still have a lot to get through. But, that's just a perfect example of how much money the city of San Francisco and California is spending on fentanyl addicts in the city that will supply them with the paraphernalia to get high and continue being a junkie. And that draws more junkies to the city. And then it's just a waste of money. And it perpetuates the problem, and it perpetuates the drug, every aspect of the problem. And it's becoming very apparent to everybody that it's these policies. Nobody else has been in charge. Nobody else has been running San Francisco for a very long time. They can't blame this on Trump. They'll try, like they will still legitimately try to blame this on Trump. But yeah, people are waking up to the fact that, holy crap, Trump isn't nearly as bad as I was brainwashed into believing. So this is Dave Rubin's trip to San Francisco. I don't know if you know Dave Rubin. He's from LA, but this is sad.
Everybody on the street.
What's sad to me is, and you can still do this to a certain regard if you know the city well and you know like where to park and like where the safe places are and that kind of thing. If I got a friend that's coming in from out of town, it used to be like, yeah, let's go to the city because it's so amazing. Like, you don't even need money. You could just go to the free places, like the things that are free in San Francisco. Like, bring whatever you want with you. And you don't even need a car either. A bike, the public transportation is pretty good in the city. You could just have a great day now public transportation, you need like $40 or something like that. But you could have a blast, bring your backpack with your food in it. But now you can't go. There's so many places that you can't go, and out of towners come, and there's a reason tourism has just evaporated in the city. And Dave Rubin will sort of explain that right here.
So I'm here in San Francisco where everyone is either doing drugs or looking to get drugs. There's virtually nobody on the streets. This is an unbelievable dystopian nightmare here. Like, I just had dinner at a pretty decent restaurant, Mastro's Steakhouse. So I'm not in a shitty part of town. But this place is absolutely disgusting. And everyone who voted for the people that run this place, everyone who has anything to do with it should be ashamed and embarrassed and step down. There's homeless people and drug people everywhere. There's nothing going on. Here, let me just try to find a human. I'm just going to walk for a little bit. There's no humans. There's two people in masks coming up this way. Let's see. I've seen more people smoking crack today than last time I was here, because that's the last time I saw someone smoke crack. There's just no humans. There's no life. It's everything is closed and boarded up. Well, here's a store. Actually, this looks like a store. That's exciting. It's just an unbelievable shithole. Anyway, hope you're having a great night. Hopefully you don't get killed. Bye. So I'm here in San Francisco.
That's sad. It just bums me out. It's really sad. I mean, it's a lot like it's not a lot like, but in terms of what San Francisco used to be, like shops and things that are now boarded up and infested with drug addicts, but Minneapolis, like all the crap that got burned down after the George Floyd riots, I was looking at that today. It's unbelievable. It just nothing was rebuilt, still hasn't recovered, and there's like really nice stuff that got burned down. It was bad, and this sort of makes you sad in that same way, because it's just San Francisco is such a naturally beautiful city. The location of it, it's unlike any other city in that regard. It's so iconic and beautiful, and the hills, and there's so many great views. Yeah, so much history there, but it's been devastated, and it is going to get worse, unfortunately. Let's across the bay over to Oakland really quick, because this is just sort of become par for the course, unfortunately. This violent attacks on people, and I don't know. I think we might be seeing some people cheering for constitutional carry very soon in California, because the violence is sort of out of control. The attacks on people.
Stop, bro! Hey, no, bro, chill, bro, chill. Ow, bitch, yep. Do not touch me, bro! Oh my God, call the police! Hey, bro, nah, bro. Stop, bro.
Okay. Apparently, so there's a thread. Here's some better footage of it. The other one would chase the suspects and assaulted them. Okay, hold on. Let's read the whole thing. 3 women attacked and robbed in Oakland's Chinatown. I felt like I just became a statistic. The ladies told me that the incident happened after dinner at 9:45 in the 300 block of 9th and 5 and 9. They noticed the car was broken into. Then OPD confirmed 4 individuals. Then robbed the other woman. Robbed one. The other woman chased and the suspects assaulted them and fled in a nearby vehicle. B, she told me she was hit with a belt and dragged. She's grateful that they weren't critically injured, and the surveillance is being used in the OPD investigation. So it looks like they still haven't found the people. But let's look at the surveillance footage, because this is probably a little less choppy.
He started hitting me with a belt, and I really tried to grab it. I tried to grab the belt back, and then they pulled my hair, and then they dragged me to the floor. He started hitting me with a belt, and I really tried to grab it. I tried to grab the belt back, and then they pulled my hair, and then they dragged.
And these types of occurrences are becoming much more common. You guys saw the dude that got beat within an inch of his life at that sideshow the other day, or a few weeks ago, because he threw that bucket at a car. Because he threw a bucket at a car, and they just beat him to bloody hell. It was absolutely ruthless. I showed that footage on, I don't know, a few streams ago. But let's continue. Let's continue with San Francisco. We'll hop over just like a quick clip. This I'm just trying to show show you guys like scenes you can see. If you just go to the city and walk around, you'll see this crap. It's insane. It's a very short clip, but I have to show you just to get a sense of like what you can see just on a random day in San Francisco walking down the street. And the caption is, "This is fine." Look at this. This is unreal. Okay. No big deal. This is fine. I used to work in San Francisco like every day for months, and if I would see just driving down the street, just like people doing crazy things right in front of you, and you're just like, what did that just happen right in front of me? And then it just continues. And people act crazy too. Don't mess around in San Francisco. Don't mess around in Oakland. Like when you're driving, like don't play. Don't go playing around, because yeah, it could. People are crazy. People are very crazy. Yeah, let's go to this one here. This is from World Peace Movement. I use a lot of his clips just because he gets a ton of footage. He lives in the Tenderloin, and this is just his like every night walk. This is what he sees every day. This video is shocking. This is just his walk home at night.
I can't get through that way. They got the entire sidewalk blocked off here.
That's just him walking home. Like, what other city can you get away with this? Just right there, just no problem, right there on the sidewalk, and they will give you the hypodermic needles. And fentanyl is like $4 I don't know, a gram. It's very cheap, but this dude, World Peace Movement, I think his name's Dylan. I just saw him say, he was just talking to somebody saying, yeah, it's like as cheap as $4. I don't know if it's like $4 a hit or a gram, or I don't know how that crap works, but you know, like the city will give you the needles. Like, and that just boggles my mind that they will help you do the drugs. And their logic behind it is like, oh, well, you know, it'll help keep them safer because they're not using dirty needles, when it's like fentanyl is such a dangerous drug that you can OD on it the first time. Like the dirty needles isn't the risk to the people that are doing these drugs. It's just the fentanyl crisis in San Francisco is so much worse than people think. Well, people don't think. They don't want to look at it. It's so much worse than COVID was. It has killed so many more people than COVID did, destroyed so many more lives, but people just don't even talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. This is World Peace Movement again. This is something he just came across walking down the street as well.
Are you alive? What happened, bro?
And that may sound dramatic, like he's being overly dramatic, saying, "Are you alive?" That's.
Are you okay, brother?
He's genuinely concerned if that dude is dying and dead, because this happens multiple times a day. People die on the streets of San Francisco every day, on the streets, right in front of people. People just walk right by them. Like it is so much worse than people think. Like, there's people dying on the streets every day in San Francisco. And this is like, look at it. Look at this, people. Look at this.
Are you alive? What happened, bro?
And citizens like this, who gets attacked from the far left. Like he gets legitimately attacked, death threats, all that kind of stuff. He's the one that would save this man's life, by checking on him and just saying, hey, are you okay? Hey, are you alive? Nobody cares about these people, but we should. And caring about them isn't giving them needles and allowing them to die on the street. That's not compassion. It's not empathy. We just keep doing this. It's sick, man. It's freaking sick. And the left acts as if they are the ones with empathy and compassion, and they'll say that to you and allow people to die on the streets and act as if they're the ones that have compassion. Like this asshole, Dean Preston. Like, so after all the crap I just showed you about the city and Oakland, and like, I give you a perfect example of why this stuff is happening. It's because idiots like this dude, Dean Preston, are in charge of stuff. This is the city supervisor. And this is the kind of crap these idiots say. Homelessness and poverty are the tragic result of unfettered capitalism and raging inequality. Whether it's in a rural West Virginia or in San Francisco's Tenderloin, drug addiction is a public health crisis that the U.S. healthcare system neglects. Just like, it's such word salad, crazy making, gaslighting gobbledygook. It's just not taking any accountability, any responsibility for the problem in San Francisco, and saying like, oh no, other places have these. Rural West Virginia. Like, you're going to try and compare the Tenderloin to anywhere in rural West Virginia? Are you really doing that right now? The Tenderloin has been under Democrat control for as long as I can remember. And, well, now almost all of San Francisco, a large portion of San Francisco is the Tenderloin now. Like, the marina has gotten bad. It's crazy. It's crazy, like the places that it's trickling into. They used to say crime don't climb. It's starting to climb. It is starting to climb. But they don't care. They got private security parked out in front of their house 24/7 in SUVs with the engine running, while they will tell you that climate change is happening and it's your fault. And then you'll get a ticket. They hate you. They absolutely hate you. All right, enough of San Francisco. Did you guys hear about this crazy pro-abortion professor, Shalane Rodriguez, that went crazy and took a machete to a guy's neck? She didn't hit him with it, but she threatened him. Let me get to that in a minute here. But I have to cough again. Stand by, guys. I'm sorry. Alrighty, sorry about that. Yeah, this crazy lady. So this all started where there was like some pro-life people set up at a college with a table and a booth. And this lady came up to the table and started messing with them. And that's how this whole thing started. So I'll just play that quick clip. And then reporters went to their house to check out, to question her, like why she did what she did or whatever. But they went to her house because of this little incident. I don't know why they went to her house because of this. It just didn't seem like that big of a deal. But this happened.
You're not educating shit. This is fucking propaganda. What are you gonna do? Like anti-trans next? Is that what you're gonna do next?
I mean, no, we're talking about abortion.
This is bullshit. This is violent. You're triggering my students.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you're not. Because you can't even have a fucking baby.
So this is another tactic. It's an actual tactic. When they say this is violence, like they'll point at stuff that clearly is not violence, and they'll say this is violence, and then the next things that will come out of them will be violence, as if they are justifying their violence as saying it's reaction to your non-violence. Like, okay, so she just said this is violence, and then watch, she'll get violent.
So you don't even know what that is. You don't even know what this is. Get this shit the fuck out of here, bro. Fuck this shit.
So that's just narcissism 101 there. So, but I don't understand. So, okay. Pro-abortion professor Shalane Rodriguez harasses and assaulted 2 pro-life students at Hunter College. Rodriguez is an open Marxist. That makes perfect sense. Just you start to recognize their speech patterns, the words they use, their tactics. It's a lot like the CIA. It's a lot of psychological manipulation techniques, and it sucks because it works, because freaking narcissism works. And people that don't understand or haven't put any time into trying to understand psychology don't recognize things. And like just the tone that she used right there. This is violence, and then goes and knocks everything over. Like, of course she's a Marxist. This whole thing. You guys should listen to James Lindsay. He could be very eye-opening. He could also be very difficult to follow. But yeah, here's the clip. So let's go over to Citizen Free Press here. Because reporters went to her house. I think they were reporters from the New York Post. But they went to her house and knocked on the door to ask her about that incident. I don't know why. It seems sort of like a nothing burger incident to me. But they did. And this was how she reacted. Pretty interesting.
Get the away from my door. Get the away from my door.
Let's get out of here. You can't do that.
Away from my door. Get the away from my door.
Let's get out of here.
Get the away from my door.
Let's get out of here.
So that's a machete. If you're this guy, never let anybody do that, by the way. Also, like, never put yourself in a position to where you are at the mercy of them not killing you. Don't, all it takes is like, just, all he has to do is a little shuffle step to the right, really quick. As soon as you see that machete, you get away from striking distance, or you close distance really quick and wrap up that arm. Like, don't allow somebody to put a machete to your neck. Don't do that. Like, don't just stand there. Like, that just, yeah, she could have, you don't know how crazy this woman is? Well, I think I guess she went outside and started chasing him too, with the machete. We'll go to this article to the New York Post now. Yeah, this was pretty crazy. So she followed them downstairs and actually went outside and decided to confront them out there too. I don't think there's video of that. There's just still pictures. But I don't know what this video is a video of a crocodile, so I don't know why that's in here. But the unhinged Manhattan college professor went viral for cursing out an anti-abortion student. Shockingly, held a machete to a New York Post reporter's neck Tuesday, and made wild threats that she was going to chop him up. And then there's a bunch of still images. There's the machete right there. But yeah, she chased him outside. She's got, yep, that is a machete. Yeah, so that is the machete in her hand again. And there's this crazy Marxist lady. Man, is she wearing a Bob shirt? That looks like Bob Marley's eyes. That would bum me out. You ain't a Bob band. You wouldn't be doing that crap. She just looks so angry. So angry. Like, man. Yeah, this article is just recapping all of it, but let's see. A rep for Hunter College, a public school that is part of the city's CUNY program, previously said the school is aware of the caught on camera altercation and is taking the matter very seriously. I read she's been fired, that she's been fired completely. There's nothing, no other ties to the school. So yeah, just thought that was like study freaking Marxism, especially like read the 1619 Project, read Ibram X. Kennedy, like listen, start to recognize the way they talk about stuff and just the words they use, the phrases that they use, and yeah, this you'll start to see it freaking everywhere. All right, let's jump over to Eastern Europe, shall we? Let's well, Putin gave a speech, and I think we should listen to it. So stand by here. Let's see. In God's hands. Thanks for joining. Nice to see you. All right, let's go over to Clandestine here on Twitter and listen to this is a bit longer of a speech, but I'm going to play the whole thing because it's definitely relevant. Yeah, I'm going to play the whole thing, and I'm going to let my dogs in because yeah, they're being jerks, and I don't want them to be jerks anymore. So yeah, this is a translation, obviously, but this is it's a 6-minute speech, and I'm going to play the whole thing. So yeah, just bear with me, folks.
We look in amazement at the processes underway in the countries, which have been traditionally looked at as the standard bearers of progress. Of course, the social and cultural shocks that are taking place in the United States and the Western Europe are none of our business. We are keeping out of this. Some people in the West believe that an aggressive elimination of entire pages from their own history reverse discrimination against the majority of the interests of a minority and the demand to give up the traditional notions of mother, father, family, and even gender. They believe that all of these are the mileposts on the path towards social renewal. The advocates of so-called social progress believe they are introducing humanity to some kind of a new and better consciousness. Godspeed, hoist the flags, as we say. Go right ahead. The only thing that I want to say now is that their prescriptions are not new at all. It may come as a surprise to some people, but Russia has been there already. After the 1917 revolution, the Bolsheviks, relying on the dogmas of Marx and Engels, also said that they would change existing ways and customs. And not just political and economic ones, but the very notion of human morality and the foundations of a healthy society. The destruction of age-old values, religion, and relations between people, up to and including the total rejection of family. We had that too. Encouragement to inform on loved ones. All this was proclaimed progress and, by the way, was widely supported around the world back then and was quite fashionable, same as today. The fight for equality and against discrimination has turned into aggressive dogmatism bordering on absurdity. When the works of the great authors of the past, such as Shakespeare, are no longer taught at schools or university because their ideas are believed to be backward. The classics are declared backward and ignorant of the importance of gender or race. In Hollywood, memos are distributed about the proper storytelling and how many characters of what color or gender.
So I don't want to ruin the point that he's trying to make, but He's essentially saying that we tried this. We tried socialism. We tried communism. You know, with the fall of the Tsar, the Russian Revolution, Leninism, and then Stalinism. And it ultimately led to destruction and death and things not working and supply chain issues, supply and demand issues. And then they looked at the West and they see that you can go to a grocery store and you can buy anything that you need. And this was just a shocker to, well, the Eastern Bloc countries. And now it's like Russia has moved much more towards capitalism, Christian-backed morals for their society, and a much more free and open trade system that allows for individualism. Meanwhile, the West is moving towards much more of a collectivist ideology. And now things are starting to suffer. Production, quality, and it's like Russia is moving towards where the West was, and the West moving towards where Russia was. And that's what I feel like he's trying to explain here.
Should be in a movie. This is even worse than the agitprop department of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. Countering acts of racism is a necessary and noble cause, but the new cancel culture has turned it into reverse discrimination, that is, reverse racism. The obsessive emphasis on race is further dividing people, when the real fighters for civil rights dreamed precisely about erasing differences and refusing to divide people by skin color. I specifically asked my colleagues to find the following quote from Martin Luther King. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by their character. This is the true value. However, things are turning out differently there. By the way, the absolute majority of Russian people do not think that the color of a person's skin or their gender is an important matter. Each of us is a human being. That is what matters. In a number of Western countries, the debate over men's and women's rights has turned into a perfect phantasmagoria. Zealots of these new approaches even go so far as to want to abolish these concepts altogether. Anyone who dares mention that men and women actually exist, which is a biological fact, risk being ostracized. Parent number 1 and parent number 2, birthing parent instead of mother and human milk, replacing breast milk, because it might upset the people who are unsure about their own gender. I repeat, this is nothing new. In the 1920s, the so-called Soviet Kulturträgers also invented some new speak, believing they were creating a new consciousness and changing values that way. Not to mention some truly monstrous things when children are taught from an early age that a boy can easily become a girl and vice versa. That is, the teachers actually impose on them a choice we all supposedly have. They do so while shutting the parents out of the process and forcing the child to make decisions that can upend their entire life. They do not even bother to consult with the child's psychologist. Is a child at this age even capable of making a decision of this kind? Calling a spade, this verges on a crime against humanity, and it's being done in the name and under the banner of progress. Well, if someone likes this, let them do it. I've already mentioned that in shaping our approaches, we will be guided by a healthy conservatism. That was a few years ago, when passions on the international arena were not yet running as high as they are now, although, of course, we can say that clouds were gathering even then. Now, when the world is going through a structural disruption, the the importance of reasonable conservatism as the foundation for a political course has skyrocketed, precisely because of the multiplying risks and dangers and the fragility of the reality around.
Well, you get the idea there. And I think just the whole point of that is the West is moving towards collectivism, while it does seem, and I'm not saying that Russia is like the freest country or Putin is even like, I'm not saying Putin's not a war criminal, but he's not wrong with everything that he was saying there. That, yeah, there's clearly an ideology being pushed on society in the West right now. And it's a lot like how the executives at Target are they're forcing their employees to be part of this ideology, whether it's good for the shareholders or not. This thing is deeper than this. Isn't capitalism. This isn't the market determining what it wants and how much of it wants. That's not what this is. This is forcing the market to bend to your will. And that's how you end up with mediocrity and nothing great. And not even mediocrity, subpar everything. That's what we're getting. Yeah. All right, that's Putin. That's Putin talking. But more Russia-Ukraine news. So apparently Russia's moved nuclear weapons to Belarus. So that's an escalation. They took Bakhmut. That's now completely under Russian control, apparently. And right on cue, I think it's Kirby is coming out saying, how it's not important. It isn't strategically important. But now Russia is moving nuclear weapons to Belarus. And I think that is in response to us making Finland part of NATO, because now that shortens the attack time to Moscow. I don't know. I'm not sure. I talked about that in another stream, but you guys should all go listen to Michael Malice, You're Welcome, episode number 260 with Dave Smith and Constantine. I can't remember his last name. That is probably the best and most nuanced conversation that I've heard with two different people on different sides of the Russia-Ukraine war discussion. And I was trying to find a couple clips from it that would demonstrate that nuance, that great conversation, but I couldn't, because they're such long clips of them talking back and forth. But it's so diplomatic, the conversation that they have, and it really makes clear that everybody's forced to a team. Everybody's forced to a side. Even us here in the West, like in the US, we shouldn't be taking sides really on this. We should be taking the sides of the people of Ukraine and the people of Russia and want peace as soon as possible. Get people to the negotiation table. But after listening to this and listening to Constantine talk, I am definitely much more sympathetic to the Ukrainian people and, the people of that region. It's just that region has been in turmoil for centuries. It's unfortunately, it's just right on the border of Eastern and Western Europe. And it is, obviously extremely fertile land, like tons of crops come out of Ukraine. It won't this season, but yeah, this conversation is a great conversation to listen to. So everybody should go, if you want to have a better understanding of what's going on in Ukraine, why it's happening, each side of the story, go listen to Michael Malice, episode 260 of You're Welcome with Constantine and Dave Smith I'll play like the very end to that episode. That'll just be give you an idea of who these guys are if you don't already know them. You guys should already all know Dave Smith and Michael Malice, but maybe not Constantine. He's a cool dude. I just discovered him probably about a year ago. Let's see. Crap. Where was that clip? Shady. All right. Oh, fuck. Got it. All right. Listen to this short clip.
Well, I agree with that. I'll let you have your closing thoughts, then we'll go to Dave. And thank you both for going along today. Go ahead.
Oh, no problem. For me, the closing thoughts are, I think people sometimes don't understand how much they agree on because of the way that we now communicate. Right. It's actually something I'm thinking increasingly about and wondering what the best way to respond is.
Can I ask something, actually? Don't you think that's by design?
No, I don't. I just think the fact that we communicate through the medium of social media about these issues.
Sorry. I meant, don't you think the media has really made it so that there's no possibility of nuance on this issue, and you're trying to have a conversation like this, that your motive should be suspect?
You know what? I know that like that is a tempting way of looking at it, and every now and again I'll wake up and I'm like, oh, they've written. But generally speaking, I tend to think the medium is the message, and the mainstream media. I have a piece on my Substack about criticizing them about lying about a conference that I've just been at and how they totally misrepresent it. I think it's much more about the incentives that they have and the resources that they have. The mainstream media is now the clickbait machine. And so everything is, I saw that, actually, I mean, I saw that many times, but particularly when this war broke out last year. There are mainstream publications that write about the war in Ukraine with a huge amount of authority that don't even have the resources for someone to translate Putin's speeches for them. So when I do it on my Twitter, they all follow me and read it and then write the stupid little articles, right? So it's a lack of resource issue and it's a clickbait issue, I think.
Yeah, that doesn't give you a good idea of what the conversation's about, but they really get into the nitty gritty, not off into the weeds, but into the nitty gritty of, what people's arguments are really on, why we should support Ukraine, the U.S. versus, the completely anti-war stance. And Constantine makes several good points, and I am much more on Dave Smith's side on this. But we did sign that agreement. What was it, like the Belarusian agreement, to where Ukraine would get rid of their nukes, but we would protect them. Essentially, we did sign that agreement. And the only Constantine makes the argument in this that the only protections for Ukraine essentially would be for them to join NATO, and that is a clear line in the sand for Putin that cannot happen. But what other protections is there? So he makes that argument, and then Dave Smith replies with, "Well, NATO isn't what it was supposed to be. NATO is no longer at all what it was originally set out to be." And he's very right there. Like, I am very anti-NATO. NATO's a horrific organization, and they've done horrible, horrible things, and they are not like purely a defensive organization. So it's a great conversation. Listen to it. Episode 260, Michael Mellis, you're welcome. And no, it's not spelled wrong. So yeah, listen to it. It's a good one. All righty. What do we got next here? Let's see. Yeah, crap. Let's go out to the border. Dog. Sorry. Yeah, let's go out to the border here. Because there is still stuff going on out there. This guy's been reporting on it a lot. So smuggling and trafficking. Same old story.
Obviously, we've shown you guys multiple camp areas in which it was not as obvious as what we're seeing here. Take a look what we're seeing here. You start seeing nothing but children's clothes, blankets, there was little girls' articles of clothing, little boy or girls, little boy shoes, more little girl undergarments, little girls' shoes, more.
So if you guys are just listening, he's at an encampment. I think he's on the other side, on the Mexico side, and it's like a ghetto little encampment with the tent made, and it's like a rape tent because he's just pulling out little kids' shoes, undergarments, clothes, just like tons of them, and just throwing it on the ground. And it's just showing what happens to these kids on the way here. Like these kids get separated from their parents, or they're not with their parents at all. Like these kids are literally trafficked. It's horrific, the stuff that's going on, and this government's letting it happen.
More little girls' shoes. I don't know if it's a woman or a girl's shoes. And there's baby bottles all the way in there. And just to show you guys, there's multiple baby bottles in here, baby formulas, little girl jackets.
What's that medicine to the left? Gloves?
Pacifiers.
What's that to the left? Gloves?
These are latex gloves. Like they had tons of kids in here, guys. Tons of babies in here, wrapped in blankets. Their evidence is here. The government is complicit in all this. They have children out here like dogs. This is incredible. This is a child camp, guys. You can't tell me that what we're seeing here and showing you guys, this is a child camp. This is a child encampment. Look, Infomil. Somebody's bringing them Infomil all the way out here to maintain these children before they get trafficked into the thirsty United States of America.
All right, that looked super suspect at the end. Just that jumped out at me. Just like, okay, a bag of, did you say that was fentanyl? Like, oh, that was a giant ass bag of fentanyl too, just sitting on the top. Like, oh, they just left it behind. I don't know. That seems suspect to me, but I don't know. The trafficking stuff is happening though, so who knows? Maybe it was a giant bag of fentanyl that just got left behind. I don't know. You can't. You never know what's true on the internet these days, or what's exaggerated, or what's set up. So take everything you see with a grain of salt. But there's a lot of stuff coming out regarding the border. Yeah, we'll go over to one of these the DC migrant hotel. This is crazy. Let's see, what's her name? I think this is Savannah Hernandez giving this interview.
I was a site administrator at the Row Hotel. So in the hotel, we have close to 5,000 migrants. If anything involving this hotel, I was helping run it. Everything ranging from doctor's visits to medication is paid for the migrants. Anything you can possibly think of, it's being given to them. Car seats, cribs for newborns. There's, I want to say, at least 2 to 3 babies a week being born at this hotel. The migrants being in those hotels have destroyed them. There's a lot of alcohol in these rooms. Housekeeping is there all week, and they'll clean it, and by the end of the night, there's kids getting drunk together.
So this is very similar to what's happening with the homeless and drug addicted in San Francisco. They are given things, and it perpetuates the problem, makes it worse. And again, you're rewarding irresponsible behavior. So you're rewarding all these people that are coming here illegally, putting them up in hotels and giving them all this free stuff and rewarding this horrible behavior. And then what do you get? You get horrible behavior out of it. So if you reward horrible behavior, you're going to get more horrible behavior. I don't know why that's hard to understand.
There's people hooking up with each other. There's multiple guns in these rooms as well. The alarming thing is that this hotel is meant to be a family hotel.
You were actually showing me some text messages between a social worker about a drunk 10-year-old in this hotel. Can you talk to us about what happened there?
Yeah, it was a drunk 10-year-old who was caught with a 14 and a 12-year-old, and all three of them were intoxicated. And when we looked them up in the system, the parents had checked out 2 days ago.
So their parents just left them there?
Yeah, the parents will leave the kids unattended in the hotel. We heard a security guard start yelling, there's a gun on site, there's a gun on site. It was probably an upset person that we had kicked out of the hotel. I myself have been assaulted. I've seen other people get assaulted. I've had threats saying, we'll be waiting for you guys outside. There's been times where staff has had to be, escorted to their cars, to their trains.
Because the migrants are threatening them.
Yeah. Often at times there was migrants causing chaos with shoplifting. The one instant where I showed you that video, aside from being caught shoplifting, they started getting physical. And a lot of the times it was, go calm the migrant down, get them inside the hotel. I've been doing this for 5 years. And in my 5 years, this has been the worst experience by far. The city of New York does not know what they're doing, and it's only going to get worse from here.
That ain't the only migrant hotel, and then there's going to be way more of them, and it's not just going to be in New York. There's already a few episodes ago, I played that one out of Chicago where they wouldn't let the guy in, and that was kind of crazy. But man, wait till they start sending them to San Francisco, and then they start getting put up in hotels, and all the people are dying on the street from fentanyl. People are going to start getting mad. We're bringing in so many people that just have to be given everything by the government. They can't just come in and join society and be productive members and go right to work. This is such a recipe for disaster. And man, they're trying to act like it ain't happening. Did you guys hear about this freaking giant cartel mass shooting out in Baja California that happened? Of these, man, I'll show the shooting because it's not too gory, but there's a lot of other footage out there of the aftermath, and it's bad. It is bad. I don't know. I think Mario Narwhals says how many people died. Let's see here. This is pretty gnarly. And headphone warning was probably loud. 10 people killed 10 people. And there's footage of it afterwards. And it's out in Baja California, and they're driving all these like dune buggies, and it looks like cartel members just roll up on these dune buggies and just open up on them. It is gnarly. And the aftermath videos and pictures coming out are horrific, and I won't show those to you guys. And yes, you are correct. That is, the shooters are at this black vehicle, and they're unloading, opening up on these dune buggies right here. And yes, those are like 4-door, 4-seater dune buggies, and there's people in all of them, and they are unloading on them. And yeah, I'm pretty sure all of them died. Yeah, so that happened like a week ago. That was gnarly. If you guys want to see the footage of the aftermath, you can, but I'm not going to share it here because it's brutal. All right, I clearly don't have time to get to the rest of the stuff that I have queued up for this evening, but I do want to at least show. I see the was it Mount Etna? Mount Etna went off. Another volcano. Actually, 2 other volcanoes. But yeah, did you see this footage from freaking Mount Etna going off? It's pretty gnarly. Check this out. Yeah, this is crazy. This dude got fact checked though, because it's not accurate. So pay attention, no attention to his tweet. Just look at the actual footage. This is crazy.
Tra l'altro, se siamo i primi a pubblicare queste post, giusto? Poi non ci potranno dire gli altri, l'abbiamo capito che le stai ruttando, perché siamo i primi. Adesso no. Allora, è finito.
So that's Mount Etna going off. Then there was 2 other volcanoes as well, like all within a couple week period here. So check these out really quick. This one. So on May 23rd, there are numerous volcano eruptions all around the world. 22nd of May, Popocatépetl in Mexico, and on 21st of May, Volcan de Fuego in Guatemala, Central America, and the 5th of May, Mount Etna. So these are, I think this is footage of all of them. Let's see if there's audio. Yeah, this is crazy. Oh, what the hell? That's the footage we just saw.
Whoa! Did you feel that shit? Oh, that was no.
Wow. So yeah, volcanoes going off everywhere, folks. I don't know, make of that what you will. All right. There was a ton of other stuff that I had queued up, but I'm not going to get to it. So I'll have to leave that for Sunday. Even though Sunday I will be back on Twitter. So it'll just be me pretty much raging against Elon all night on Sunday. Well, it won't be all night because there's a lot of stories that I didn't get to here. I mean, we still got the IRS whistleblower to talk about. We got the Nazi cocaine. Did you guys hear about the Nazi cocaine? We got to talk about that. JP Morgan and Epstein. Freaking First Republic Bank, nuclear power works. I got a lot of stuff to talk about, people. So I'll leave that all queued up for Sunday. And I will be back here at 6 o'clock on Sunday. And I hope you guys come and join again. All you guys that joined tonight, thanks for hanging out. I much appreciate it. Wally World in God's hands. Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you've made it this far, please give the like button a little tap. It'd be wonderful. Like, share, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. And before we go, you know how we do it. We're going to read a joke from the best book on earth, The Truth About Chuck Norris. All right, what do we got tonight? Hopefully it's a good one. All right. This is a perfectly fitting joke for tonight. Chuck Norris will never fully be male nor female. Doctors once asked him which he preferred. He gave them an ad for the Total Gym. And on that note, folks, stay CaliBased. Scared my dog.